Hello, good afternoon. Clayton Stufflebeam here, Central Illinois PFR location lead. Today I'm with Dan Fulton. We are at the Horsch Agvision farm in Downs, Illinois. Today is July 2nd. It's 90 degrees out. We're doing a little bit of a tillage demo today, Dan. Tell me a little bit what your machine is here and maybe what we're doing.
Yeah, so one of Horsch's great tillage tools is called the Joker RT. One of my favorite tillage tools. It is considered a high-speed compact disc, and today we have the RT40, which is a 40-foot wide working width machine. So during our demo, we did have it in some very weedy conditions and some other cover crops and crops that I had planted that we just wanted to show how well this terminates. And if we want to, starting kind of from the hitch back, I can explain how it does that exactly and what kind of puts us above our competition in those regards.
So on the RT40 series, we do come with a category 4 or 5 hitch. We have a hydraulic jack, which is a very nice function, especially on these larger machines. Makes it very simple to hook up and unhook to these tillage tools. Looking at this certain machine, we do have the manual components still on here, but it has been converted to ISO, so you can see what that would look like with the manual components. How this works is our depth is set with the rear packing system. And so what we're doing with this hand crank on a manual machine is exactly that, is setting just the rear packer. Now the rear packer, as you see on the RT40 series and all the RT series and MT series, we're distributing the weight of the machine on the entire width of the tillage tool and the drawbar. So that way we're not really setting the depth with small tires out in the field like you've experienced in the past. And that's very useful to us because we don't have to worry about changing wheel bearings out all the time because we're not turning on wheels. We actually leave this tool, we pick it up on the rear packer system when we turn on our headlands as well. So basically on all, not all, but how ours works for the high-speed compact disc is you set the depth on the rear with the packer, as I mentioned, but that means you have to set the front disc depth as well to get the pull straight. The reason why we want these to pull exactly straight is that way we leave no ridging. And we're the only company on the market right now that can say we can leave 0 ridges due to exactly the same degree angled blades on front and back. So 17 degrees and 17 degrees. And that's why we have such good weed control and even moisture when you start to dig underneath of our tillage and the top of the soil profile, that we do have an even moisture then across our whole seed bed. So we want good even emergence. That goes with a good even tillage depth and of course how your planter is set up. Now that we've talked about setting the depth, I'd like to go to the actual disc gain itself. So if you look down here, we do have a larger clamshell. That's kind of the general term for this clamp right here that holds our gain onto the toolbar. We do have torsion bars that you can see on the ends here. Those have a very, very long life. And so the good thing about those, they take the vibrations out of your tool, and the torsion bar is absorbing all of that. It also is, if you hit a very large rock, things of that nature, the disc will then, it takes a lot of pressure, but will go over it rather than breaking a component on your tillage tool. So we do have a longer disc arm on our Joker RTs, and you can see here that we have 2 discs on either one. So the reason for this is with the wide clamshell and the 2 discs is so that we don't have any blade deflection like many competitors have a slicing action when they're going through the field. I'd kind of describe it as a plucking action. As we're going through this field, we're physically rolling through and plucking our weeds and throwing any dirt into our packing system. So that way we're breaking up dirt clods and we're securing the residue underneath the packer so it's not blowing away. Tell me about your calibration process. You told me you can set it at a 3-inch depth right from the tractor cab. So just go through that briefly. Yeah, so I don't know about you, but I try to be as versatile as possible when I'm out in the field. If I go from dry conditions to wet conditions to more residue to less residue, different crop rotations, whatever it may be, it is a burden to have to get out all the time and change the depth of your tool. And so with our ISO system, we can change the depth, we can change our gauge wheel tires, we can change the front cylinder, all from the cab. So it makes it very simple and easy. There's a simple calibration process. You calibrate up, you calibrate down, and you're ready to hit the field.
Well, I'd like to thank you for joining us today down here at the Horsch Agvision farm in Downs, Illinois. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more in the future.